Hi friends, in this video we will learn how to solve problems using Lagrangian equation of motion. So as we know that L equals T minus V, and Lagrange's equation of motion is d by dt of del L by del Q dot minus del L by del Q equals 0. This is what we learned. Now we are going to understand what we can use in place of this q dots and q. So let's say you are dealing with the Cartesian coordinates. So for Cartesian coordinates we have x, y and z. So for this coordinate your equation of motion will be, so let's first take x. So the equation of motion for x coordinate will be d by dt of del L by del x dot minus del L by del x equals 0. For y coordinate it will be d by dt del L by del y dot minus del L by del y equals 0, and same will be for z coordinate. Alright, so this is something about the equation of motion. So all these three are the equation of motions for Cartesian coordinate. But how will we solve the problem? So the first step is that whenever you are given any problem, you will first choose the coordinate system. So for example, you can choose Cartesian coordinate system, or you can choose polar coordinate system, or you can choose spherical polar coordinate system, or you can choose cylindrical coordinate system. If you are not aware of this 4 coordinate system, you may go through it. In case if you need any help, let me know. I will explain you all these 4 coordinate systems. But just as of now, you just know that the first step of solving problem is first to decide which coordinate system you are going to use. Now how to decide that I will tell you just after some time. Once you decide the coordinate system, the second step is to build the Lagrangian, that is L equals T minus V. Okay, so we have to build Lagrangian. To build a Lagrangian, you have to first find out T and then find out V. So as I am talking about the Cartesian coordinate system, we generally know that T is nothing but the kinetic energy, and that we write in general as 1/2 mv square. But we know that as if we talk about the Cartesian system, then it will be 1/2 m x dot square. X dot is just nothing but the velocity, the speed. But that is not just one coordinate. You will have all the 3 coordinates. So y dot square plus z dot square. Now if you don't get it, then you can think of, like, suppose you have a particle which is in this x, y and z plane. Okay, so let's say it is somewhere here. So you can find this is its z coordinate for this point. Then so if we take the reflection on the xy plane, then this will be its x coordinate and this will be its y coordinate. Okay, and this is the height, the z coordinate. So this is also z. Now you see here that you can think that this particle will have some speed in x direction, it will have some speed in y direction, and it will have some speed in z direction. So there is 1/2 mv square in x direction. so that we denote as half m x dot square. Then you have half mv square in y direction, so half m y dot square, and then you have the other one in the z direction. So if you take half m as a common factor, then you will end up with this. Okay, and also if this is your height, so this is something about the potential the kinetic energy T. Then you also have to define V. You just don't worry if this is going so random. I will in a systematic way write it down for you, but as of now I'm just giving you the idea how do we find it. Now for potential, we know that potential is given by mgh, where h is the height. So you see that the height here is z. Okay, so clearly here the height means potential energy will be mgz. Now once you know this and this, your Lagrangian, which is t minus v, just put this whole function minus v mgz, and that's how you have built the Lagrangian. Now once you build the Lagrangian, you find, so okay, let us now do it. So as I was saying that we are choosing x, y and z coordinate. Okay, and we see, so first step is to define the coordinate. Second step is to define the kinetic energy. So we have to define the Lagrangian, but for that we will need kinetic energy. So it's nothing but half m x dot square plus y dot square plus z dot square. Whatever, doesn't matter what situation you have. If you are using Cartesian coordinate system, then this will always be your expression for kinetic energy. Potential energy will be mgz. So here you now build the Lagrangian t minus v, so I can write it as half m x dot square plus y dot square plus z dot square minus v is mgz. Now first I am going to solve the Lagrange's equation of motion for x. So for x, the Lagrange's equation of motion will be d by dt of del L by del x dot minus del L by del x equals 0. So we will first find this derivative and this derivative. So you see here that del L by del x dot, this is our L. You differentiate this whole expression with respect to x dot, so you are left with half m x dot. I hope you know the normal derivative methods, and that is all I am going to do. With respect to y dot and z dot, it will be 0. Here also it will be 0. So that is it. I have m x dot. Okay, and del L by del x, so this whole term will be 0. This is also 0. So del L by del x is 0. So now we plug in the values here. D by dt of del L by del x dot, which is mx dot minus del L by del x is 0, equals 0. If you differentiate it with respect to time, m is constant, so you will have mx double dot equals 0. So this is your equation of motion in for x coordinate. Similarly, you can find for y coordinate. It will be just like this. It will be like my double dot equals 0. Okay, and for z coordinate, if you see here that you have some potential term also. So here the thing will be little different. Del L by del z dot will be equal to half m. With respect to this, it's 0, 0, 2 z dot and there is no z dot term over here, so that is it. Now we will find del L by del Z. Here there is no z containing term, so derivative for the first expression it will be 0. Here we do have a z containing term, so del L by del Z will be here minus mg. Now plug in this value into the equation of motion, which is d by dt of del L by del Z dot minus del L by del Z equals 0. So d by dt of del L by del Z dot is, we have found mz dot, so it's mz dot minus del L by del Z is minus mg equals 0. Differentiate it with respect to t, then mz double dot plus mg equals 0. Take m as a common factor, z double dot plus g equals 0. So this is the equation of motion for the z coordinates. So you see here, since we have used 3 coordinates, you will have 3 equation of motions. If you remember that when we talked about the Lagrange's equation of motion in general, I told you at that time that this is not a one equation of motion. If I put I here, then there is a sum of all these, so I equals 1 up to n. So this is a set of the equations of motion. So you see here that we have q, here we have I equals 3 for Cartesian coordinates, because we are using x, y, z. So you have 1, 2 and 3. So I equals 1 to 3. So this will be your q1, q2 and q3. So we found the Lagrange's equation of motion for q1 first, that is x, then for second coordinate y, and then for the third coordinate z. So this is how you use the Lagrange's equation of motion to solve the problems. We haven't taken any explicit problem as of now. It is just because I wanted to give you an idea how to solve the problems. There is one more thing that I missed actually to tell you, is that when we define this potential V, so this is x, y and z, this is the projection. I'm quickly drawing it, so so this is x, y and this is z, okay, this is y and this is z. So when we define the potential, we have to take a reference point first. So suppose I choose this to be my reference point, that is z equals 0. Z equals 0 is my reference point. So you see that if we just consider this z axis only, I have taken this as my reference point, which is z equals 0. Here is the origin. So you see here that the particle is at some height z. And if you are aware of how we find the potential energy, it is the energy required to move the particle from this initial point to the final point. So it is positive mgz. If suppose I had taken this as z as my reference point, then I would put v equals 0 at my reference. Whenever you choose a reference point means that is the point from which you are going to find the potential. So as this is my reference point, which is height z, v will be 0 at this point. So if I want to find the potential here, then since I am going in the negative direction, downward direction, here my potential will be minus mgz. I have come down a distance z, and since it is below the 0 line, the potential will be negative. If you are measuring the potential above the 0 line, then your potential will be positive. So this is something you have to consider when you solve the problem. that when you define the potential, first step you have to take is that you have to define your reference point, and from that reference line, if you are going above, then you will have positive potential. If you are going below it, then your potential will be negative. So that is all about it. And I will solve one problem for you, which is a simple pendulum, and then we will solve some practice sets on our own. Alright, thanks for watching.